hurry, define this place or we'll be late.
Make a left on Astrology Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant right. It should be right here at 444 Spirit Way. Oh, turn!
It looks like Renee. Yay, we're on time. The James and Kellee Show.
Great, let's start the show.
Hi, James. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Kellee?
I'm very good.
And how's the weather in Wisconsin?
Oh, it's friggin' awful.
It's awful today because it could be 60 yesterday. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, actually, yesterday it was lovely and it was like 60, and then it snowed, and now it's like freezing. And I'm thinking, what is this cycle? When's it going to end? So I had to pretend it's spring. So I had to have tulips. I have to dress the part. I got to be spring. I love spring.
Wow. Yeah, I love spring too. It's amazing. Wow.
Now, you had an interesting Saturday, didn't you? Or was it Friday or Saturday?
Friday. I went to Cerritos, California, to see a friend of mine sing. He's one of the Phantoms, 4 Phantoms that are on tour right now, and went to see him in Cerritos. And left at 4 o'clock. The show started at 8 o'clock. So my friend Katie and I went out for a bite to eat, and she was wearing a nightgown, beautiful gown, evening, and I was wearing a tuxedo, top hat.
I have to say, it's the cutest
and we went
picture
to
ever.
TGIFs. Thank God it's Friday. That's what we ate. Which we ended up calling it Tuesdays because I ended up cleaning tables and things like that.
You're a good sport. In a top hat. I love that.
But then it was fun. We had a good time. There were great voices, and it was really nice. And I went to go see another person there earlier, another time. It's a very nice theater, but in the middle of an office park. And you've been there.
Been there many a time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an interesting placement of the concert. Very nice performing arts center, but in the middle of an office park.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's odd.
I see my blue reflection of the screen, so that's okay. My new glasses, so.
That's right. You're getting ready for the aura.
The Oracle. Yeah, I did some research. I mean, I know a lot about auras, but I always want to, as you, I know something else out. So I found some information, which I was thinking, this is very Kellee White. So I might have discovered some things that I didn't know about that you might know about, that people know about. It's interesting stuff, though.
I think it's going to be great. Should I go do a little bit of astrology first?
Astrology, yes, please.
Let me just talk a little bit about astrology because, we're in March, and this is a heavy month, James. I mean, I really feel it's got two elements. Ides of March is on the 15th. That's right. And beware the Ides of March. And it's a heavy month, but it also has this amazing hope to it. So it's really that kind of a month. But let me just tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday, Venus and Mars were in conjunction at 0 degrees in Aquarius. 0 degrees is the most powerful because it means a new beginning. And Venus in Aquarius, and Aquarius is about humanitarian efforts, and Venus is about love and peace. So you can imagine Venus is like, we're going to get through this. We're going to give you the hope. We're going to get through this period of time. Where Mars is a planet of war and action, and it's also in Aquarius. So imagine that kind of push-pull energy of saving the humanitarian efforts. It's a very intense time because Aquarius is also freedom. It means rebellion. It means progression. It means we want to take care of humanity. So that's this month going, and this lasts until first week in April.
And we see that with the Ukrainian war, the war right now. We see that, all those things right there.
It's really interesting. The other thing is tomorrow, I should say on March 9th. Is that tomorrow? No, on Wednesday, March 9th. Mercury, the fastest moving planet, goes into Pisces until March 27th. So Mercury in Pisces makes things a little cloudy, makes judgments a little off. I'll tell you what it's really, really good for is intuition. So if you are a medium out there or a psychic out there or in studying in class, intuition or health, it will actually help you using your intuition. But as far as the news that comes out, it might be very judgy and cloudy and hard to discern what's really happening. So
Hmm.
that's for the next, well, till the March 27th. That starts in a couple of days. And then the last thing I want to talk about is on Thursday, on March 10th, the sun, which is in Pisces, is going to square the moon in Gemini. So sun squaring the moon is going to make things feel like a crisis, like it's intense. So as I said, this energy is building up. It's just building up. Now, again, I want to say all the hopeful energy that comes out of a lot of this too. So it's looking at keeping your energy up, keeping your prayers going, thinking the most positive thoughts for humanity. And that's really where we have to go with all of this.
And Gemini rules thinking, right? The mental state, the mental.
Yeah. So exactly. And so people might be, you know,
And Pisces Mercury, it might just, maybe there's a bad relationship or something, or you get in a fight with somebody and then things just pop out because of that Gemini Mercury,
Yeah.
right? Be
Yeah.
fast thinking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Watch your thoughts during this
Watch your
time.
thoughts.
Slow it down. Pay attention.
Very
Right.
true.
And I
Yeah.
know you're going to be doing a meditation at the end too.
Am I okay?
Oh.
Yes, you did. You asked me to do that. Just even thinking, yes. Yes, I was preparing earlier, so, but I like to channel things too, so it'll be a channel. People
I
ask me,
know.
You tape record? I mean, you have it on tape? And I said, or recorded it? I said, no. Everything I do is pretty much on the cuff.
Yeah.
Channel.
Yeah. I love that.
I've been watching a little bit. I've been observing, I guess I should say, the news, only to keep informed. And I'm just like everybody else. You go through COVID, the whole COVID thing, and that was very hard. But then the world, and that's really hard to see that. But
Yeah.
then you see people that are going out of their way to helping another one, and that also, for me, I try to
Yeah.
keep that even keeled. That's an amazing experience that we can
Right.
help one another, and that's really going to focus our minds,
Right.
focusing
Absolutely.
on that love, because love can overtake fear all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also we talked about this last week about reincarnation, karma, and so forth. And I today in my soul care, someone asked about that, and I said, I'm not sure. Could there be aspects of karma from before? Could be, but it doesn't mean we can't send love and love that.
Right. Absolutely. And this time we can make different choices.
Yeah.
It's really what this is about. So keep your energies up, keep your thoughts positive.
It's true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Put my glasses back on now. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Blue.
Okay. So auras.
Yes, let's talk about the aura. First, I want to do simple, like, what is the aura, Kelly?
Yeah, what is an aura? Okay, an aura is an electromagnetic field that's an energy field. It goes around your body, and as you described it today, and it's true, it looks like an egg shape around your body. And it can certainly expand.
A healthy aura.
A healthy aura, yeah. And it's so interesting, James. If you are feeling introspective and you don't really want to be around people, the aura actually will shrink. Gets really in, and if you're in an expansive mood, that aura will just expand way out.
And it reminds me of that. 2 weeks ago, you spoke at Edgar Casey. We had to talk about, and you brought up a wonderful example of when he was in this building and pushed the elevator button. The elevator opens up, and no one had an aura. He didn't detect. And he used to read auras, and no one had an aura, and he needed to go in that elevator, and they had the elevator plummeted to the ground and
Yes.
broke and just died. He didn't get in.
That's exactly how, when I go into an airplane, I look around. People must think I'm a loon. I'm like this. I'm not looking for anybody. I just want to see auras on that plane.
When I get onto a plane, it's really weird, and I've tested it over and over again, flying so much, and it happened 5 summers ago. As my friend Lynn Probert, you remember the story, Kennedy Airport, and it was an afternoon. I stepped on a Delta flight, and my first foot, and I just kind of sensed the aura of the plane. It's weird. Yeah. And I said, "I want a sick plane. It's not going to go." And it didn't. It didn't. Well, I think it went 7 hours later, but we got off to something. I got a hotel room, but I knew it would not. Right. It's just, you can tell. It's just the energy. It's all energy. You can sense it very much.
Right.
So. Yeah.
Very true.
And auras, it also, you could mention too, that people know about the feeling of when you go into a certain room and you feel energetic or feeling really great. Like the other night at the show I went to, the aura, so it was an elderly crowd, and the auras weren't that expansive. So at the end of each song, there wasn't a lot of,
Do you think, out of curiosity, do you think that affects the performers?
110%, because I've been there. I've been on the stage.
And that's right.
you feed off from the aura, the energy that people send. And I turned to a friend of mine and said, "Oh, it's a bad audience bit." So I, of course, went screaming and standing ovation and all that's because you've got to give back. I mean, it's just a
Right.
complete, give and take. And
Right.
yeah, that's really what it was. It was tough, but you walk into a room and you'll feel, if there was, let's say you walk into any room and you feel not so great, and you
Yeah.
find out before you were there, the people before you had a meeting in there, business meeting, and perhaps were arguments or fights, and changes the energy of the room, and changes the auric field of that room. The room has an aura, the feeling, or people's auras also leave remnants in that room. Same thing, you go into some place and you feel great about it. Like some people walk into my house, they feel really peaceful and love it. Like
Oh
Shirley
yeah.
did.
Like Shirley, she flipped. Yeah.
And I set
Oh,
the energy every day in my house and my around my house. I also set the, if you want to call the aura the energy. I do that as well because it's all energy. And so it's around your house from an auric
yeah.
field, an energy field, and around the spaces you live. Of course you do. And thoughts of things. So yeah, when you meet somebody, you'll know that you like them right away or not. Some type of very diminished aura, something very expansive aura.
Right. Right. Well, let's talk about auras. Should I talk about a little bit of what an anatomy of an
Yeah.
aura is? Want me to
Yes.
start with that?
Please.
Okay, so and the anatomy of an aura is this. So on the body's left side, so on your left side, as I'm on my body's left side, that represents energy that's coming in. That's passive energy. It's feminine, it's receptive energy, and that's the energy that's coming in. So that would indicate the future energy that you're cultivating to bringing in. And that's so when we look at an aura of somebody, we'll see what's coming into them. And the right side of the body represents what's going out. That's the masculine side, and what's going out can also indicate recent past energy, possibly that's passed through, that's being released and expressed. And then the top of the photo, the top of your head, of your forehead, I should say, the top of it, that area represents your consciousness. So when you're looking at an aura, that energy is your consciousness, your thoughts, your present energy, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. And the closer that the colors are to the body, the more intensely things that you're thinking about.
Wow, it's interesting. Very, very,
Yeah.
yeah, very, very good. Wow. I did a little research on mine
Tell
too
me.
here.
Tell me.
Well, I found different things, which is what well, I did this for a reason because I know certain basic things about the auric field colors and how they correspond. And I went to Kathleen Ray, who was my first psychic I ever went to, and I was probably in my early 20s, and she had a book called The Psychic Is You, and she'd say, "Oh, you're a mental and spiritual reactor." I'm like, "Huh?" And she said, "Because these are your colors," and she could read the auric field from, as you said, left to right. And there are some
Yeah.
people that are mental reactors, some people emotional reactors, some people physical reactors, and it made sense. And that you would just turn, oh, green. I had a lot of green. Was humanitarian.
Yeah.
I think I was also physical, so I had a little bit of red, and it corresponded with the auric field as far as the chakra points too.
Yes.
So we have the colors, we have the chakras, and if the chakras are clear and open, then of course that color in the aura will be expansive and open. But if you're, let's say you're in fear, that auric field will minimize, it'll diminish,
Yeah.
and it'll be close to the body. And that person will be, as you say, outgoing. They'll be just very much by themselves. It's interesting, and there are. I find that, and we talk about the anatomy of the auric field, and to break it up for people, and this was very interesting. So they have a physical plane, and there are three main, if you will, structures: a physical plane, which consists of the mental body, the emotional body, the etheric body, and the physical body. So the physical body, but within our body, because there are many bodies within us, there are many layers. So say planes, the physical plane, the mental body, the emotional body, the etheric body, and the physical body. Then the astral plane is the astral body.
Mhm.
Then the spiritual plane. So if you want to think of it as, well, I always think of it as the first chakra up to your heart, then the astral here, and then the spiritual, the throat up. But spiritual plane, your etheric template, your celestial, and your causal, spiritual. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect.
It's the energy that emanates the physical body. The physical body is surrounded by an egg shape made up of 7 layers of the auric field. Each layer of the field intertwines and interacts with the others. The 7 bands of the auric field can be divided into two planes: the physical and the spiritual. The 3 physical planes of the auric, ones I mentioned, etheric, emotional, and mental. The astral is the bridge between the physical levels and the spiritual level of the auric field. The three spiritual levels of the auric field are etheric spiritual body, celestial, and catheric body. And that's up here,
Up, way up. Yeah.
toward our higher self. The different layers are sometimes referred to as harmonics because of the colors they emit. Each layer of the auric field is a body just as real and alive as the physical body. Isn't that pretty great?
It's really great. Yes. And so do you think it all comes together in the heart area?
Yes, and let me just talk of going on to the geographics of it. Etheric body. I am rooted in life. Is a little. They have a little thing here. I am rooted in my life and in myself. I'm safe, stable, and secure. That would be, of course, the first chakra. A quarter skin and a quarter to 1 inch away from the skin. If your first level is strong, you'll have a very strong physical, healthy body and enjoy all the pleasurable physical sensations that go with it. The emotional body. So that's your first one. So the second one is the second chakra, third chakra, and fourth chakra, which are the emotional centers of the body, which makes sense. Emotional body, I am the flow of feelings. I open myself to others naturally. 3 inches away from the skin. The second level associated with your feelings or emotions about yourself. Every energy movement, therefore, correlates with feelings you are having about yourself. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The mental body, I think clearly, I accept myself completely. And that's about 3 to 8 inches away from the skin, the mental body. This third level is associated with our mental or rational world. The lines of structure in this level are very delicate, like the finest thin veil. This level is light, lemon yellow line pulsates at a very high rate. Its brightness, fullness, and energy flow along standing lines of light that correspond to our mental processes and our states of mind. Interesting. When this level is balanced and healthy, the rational and intuitive mind work together. So that explains. I've often seen that when I'm doing demonstration. I look in the mirror before, and I have this glow. And I've seen glows around when I work with people after meditation. There's a glow around them, and that's what it's the mental body that I'm seeing. When this level is balanced and healthy, the rational mind work together in harmony as one, and we experience clarity, balance, and a sense of appropriateness. When the first three levels of our field are synchronized as well, we feel self-accepting, self-appropriate, and have a sense of personal power. If your third level is strong and charged, you'll have a strong, clear mind that serves you well. You'll have an active, healthy mental life and be interested in learning. So there you go.
There you go. Wow.
There's so much to it. It's just so much to it.
Right. There's so much. Oh my gosh. Should we talk a little bit about the colors?
Yes. Yes, please.
So I just want to remark, I saw you, well, I've seen you, on stage many times. And there have been several times, if not every time, James, where you have this amazing purple or violet or magenta coming straight up and out.
A lot of people have told me that. So mentioned that to me afterwards from a demonstration. Many.
Yeah. It's extraordinary. And then one time we were together and you actually had the picture taken, and it was all like that magenta purple and gold. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the gold. We showed that. Yeah, it's true. It's very, very true.
Oh my gosh. But that's my
favorite color. Violet's my favorite color.
Violet is your favorite color.
It is my favorite.
What does it make you feel like with violet?
High. How can I say high? High would be feeling of joy, celestial, joyful, on top of, surrounded by happiness, I guess would be the first things coming to my space.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's a good color.
Peaceful, also peaceful.
Yeah, it brings peace too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So my favorite color is turquoise, or like a greenish blue is my favorite color. I could just live in this color and just be happy.
Heart throat chakra together.
I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh.
The color corresponds with organs of the body. So the first, of course, is red. So continue.
Yeah. So if we talk about the red, red seen, you say that, have that expression, seen red, which is interesting because red, corresponds to the root chakra, of course. But red also brings a lot of, do you know, James, if you're in a hospital and there's red, it actually brings up the vitality of somebody in the hospital. Just have red on. Isn't that interesting? On a wall or, in the room, it brings up the vitality of the person, the vital life force.
I've heard differently. I've heard it differently. I've heard that they used to use red in restaurants a lot because it's such a vital force. It moves things quickly, so they turn tables over faster. and they'd use green and blues in hospitals for calming down.
Well, they
I heard
still do. No, they still do with
I
that.
still
But if somebody needs some vitality, they'll put red around. But also in
makes
the food business, they think about it. McDonald's, yellow and red. Food, it stimulates appetite. So if you need to eat, if you can't eat, then those are the colors that you would have around you. I'll never forget Mavis Patilla when my mother was sick. And we were all in New York. Do you remember this? Mavis said,
sure, of course I
"Well,
do. Like,
she
are you
said,
kidding? I remember that weekend extremely well, Kelly.
oh, that's
It's one
right.
of the finest ones. We should put that on animation one day.
Okay, make a note of
Leader
it.
host, that's all I'm
Yeah,
going to say.
that would be very fun. So Mavis was wonderful, and she said she loves color therapy. And she said, dress your mother in yellow pajamas, get her a yellow nightgown because my mother had cancer. She was very sick. And do you know what we did? It was hard to find, and I found yellow nightgowns for her, and it really helped with her energy, actually.
Well, it's funny you bring this up because there is an exercise I do sometimes at workshops, and I'm not sure who taught me this. One of the British mediums, I'm sure, probably. But in a workshop, I'll say, okay, I have them stand up and say, I want you to pick out a person. Anyone here, just pick them out. And they went there and said, why'd you pick this person out? Well, I like their energy because I feel they're open. They can communicate really well. I like the way their voice sounds, even though they've never heard it, and blah, blah, blah. And then the person was wearing blue. Okay, blue is the throat chakra. And it's very interesting. But every day when you pick something out, a color of clothing,
Mhm.
you will vibrate with resonate with a certain color that you need that day. So maybe you need more energy, you'll choose red. But you will,
Exactly.
yeah, very, very true. That's why you pick out your clothes different colors
Well,
every day.
and they say if you're going to be at a business meeting or if you need power, you put red on. Put
That's
red
true.
on. And
Right.
I have to mention, when I talk about flags, because I did want to mention this briefly, but the Russian flag is white, blue, and a big thing of red. It's white, blue, and red. Isn't that interesting? Those
Yes.
colors.
So the reason, the meanings of those colors, if you will. So when there's red, there's passion, and of course,
Mhm.
it's first chakra. Passion, sensuality, intimacy, tenderness, belonging, confidence, and strength. Okay. But used in the negative way, which everything's positive, negative, anger, violence, aggression, frustration, and circulation problems
And trauma.
and trauma. Let me add that to my list.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, everything has a positive and a negative.
So when I read people's auras, I will see all these colors all over. I will see all them in
Yeah.
different places, the past and the left and coming in and the right. And really, I've seen a lot of sometimes a lot of red, dark red. And so I just had an argument with someone. Yes, it
Mm.
shows up. It exactly shows
It
up.
does show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Um, okay,
The
so
second
red.
now in orange.
Second chakra is orange, and orange is actually relates to creativity, sensuality, emotional. Emotional. It's a lot of emotions come with this, but it's also an energy for exchange with relationships. It's a very powerful color that has to do with interfacing with others. So bringing people towards you. Orange is something else. Um,
And
Often
yeah,
they're thrill seekers. People who like orange are thrill seekers.
it's a basic emotional self. So it's really
Yeah,
interesting because a mediumship, it's your basic number one, your basic emotion first
yeah,
comes in. So it's creativity, sexuality, youth, interesting, thrill seeking,
yeah.
high energy, uh, excitement, productivity, and success. And the negative of the orange, and it's a different orange, so it's a little bit different. It's almost like a
Yeah,
burnt orange, will be laziness, lack of energy, low self-esteem, and sexual problems, and abuse as well.
and addiction.
And addiction. Wow.
Mhm. So if you see somebody with that type of an aura, with that kind of I don't know, is it burnt orange? It's an off. It's an off. It's not bright and it's
It's
not
it's
bright.
it's not it's a yeah, darker orange, if you will.
Yeah, yeah,
It's very, very interesting.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Very fun. I just came from the Tucson Gem Show recently, and I'll never forget walking around this big convention hall, and there were all these, I guess, gems you would say of all different colors. And I would find myself, I did a little exercise with myself, okay, which color would I go toward? And it was green and purple and blue. The reds didn't
Yeah,
excite me. The oranges weren't that great for me, but I like the
right.
colors, which is interesting.
Yeah, me too, James. I understand. And then the third chakra is yellow. The power chakra is yellow, solar
Right, your
plexus.
solar plexus, right?
Yeah, and yellow actually rules self-esteem, personal power, confidence, happiness, um, a strong sense of self if it's a bright yellow.
Yeah. And so it's being a second chakra, it's a second emotional body. It's a second chakra of the emotional self. Okay. So this is very important mediumship. We talk about clairsentience, which is sensing. So the second chakra is the first emotional. The third chakra, which we're talking about right now, the third is the second emotional center. So it's a center where there's, like you say, strength there. There's a sense of inspiration, optimism, intelligence, joy, freedom, spiritual enlightenment, and innocence. But it's a power place. So Mavis also taught me this years ago, that the Kundalini rising, the Kundalini energy comes up to, and some people don't bring that energy all the way up. It stays in the second chakra. So they might have those problems, sexual problems, they might have addiction problems, and so forth, and you can't bring it up. I know I got something for you, right? And lack of energy, it's just gets stuck there. And power, when you get to the yellow, like Donald Trump had this, and a lot of politicians have this. Yellow, I think Putin has it too. It gets stuck in that power center, and the ego takes over. That's all
it.
power is ego.
It's exactly what I was going to say.
It stops right there. Yeah.
Right. But I have to say, again, I love this Ukraine flag because it's got that beautiful yellow on it, which brings so much joy and happiness.
And the negative parts of the yellow, do you have that?
The negative is egomania.
Ego, and inner conflict struggles, hyperactivity, childishness, uncommitted, and sleep problems.
And self-criticizing.
Yes, unbelievable. Okay.
So
Self-criticizing.
oh.
Okay, this one's the next one, which is one of my favorites.
Green. Oh, okay. Joanne Wilson says, can people develop the ability for seeing auras, or is it just a gift? Absolutely, you can develop the ability to see auras. And basically, if you want to see an aura, you can put your animal or somebody about 10 feet away from you.
Or a mirror. You have a mirror, right, Kellee? You can use a mirror.
I haven't used the mirror, but you certainly could. I always use a wall, but yeah, you certainly could.
A white wall.
I use a white wall, but some people use a black wall. I don't. I use a white wall. And then you just stare. For me, I kind of I use my peripheral vision and it starts to come out. But if you're just beginning this, stare at somebody's nose and then watch your eyes start to kind of fade to the side. You have to practice it. And the first thing you'll see is like usually a white line around the person. And then sometimes you'll see a pop of color. It's really exciting and really fun to do.
Yeah,
Practice it.
I've done the same way but I use my gaze. I start looking at whether it's the corner of the room or the floor, and I don't look right at the person. And I slowly, my eyes get heavier, and I slowly go close to that person and detect where the energy feels first, and then try to sense what the color is when I get there. Don't try so hard; just let it naturally just take it in.
Yeah, it just
So the fourth chakra is the green chakra, the heart chakra. That's the third emotional center for the body. Which those three, the second, third, and fourth chakras, are your centers for clairsentience, sensing. So we sense the emotions with those three. That's we sense things. So when you walk in a room, you feel something from a room or a person. These three chakras are really being stimulated at that point. That's what it is. So green in the aura represents positively. Kellee?
Yeah, it's positive. It's life force. It can be really good healing. It can bring peace. It brings a lot of peace if it's a really good green. It also can bring a sense of responsibility and meaning service to others because it's the heart chakra. And it also can be that you either have very good health, or if it's off, you could have some health that's not so good, not so strong.
Yeah. And exactly what we said: health, growth, calmness, healing skills.
Yeah.
Whenever I do healing, I always use the green light of the heart. Always communication, harmony, and trust. And if it's not fully realized, I guess we would say, because it has to be. In order for the color to be fully realized, it has to expand a little bit, right? That's really what's happening. You're expanding it out, and if it isn't fully realized or fully expanded, then it can go inward and be envy, jealousy, bitterness, victim mentality, and emotional dependency.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it can also, I've seen it too, James, where people are really worried about money and they'll come in to see me when I was seeing people in person. And boy, I would see this dark green energy around them. It's like fear of not having money.
That's right. That's exactly it. And it closes in on them. And it's everything with worry about whatever it is. I mean, I say this to
Mhm.
people all the time. I say in my classes, I do all the time that when
Yeah.
you worry, when you think about someone in spirit, unless you want to communicate with them, you're thinking, you're putting walls up. You're bringing that energy into yourself and you're closing down. And that's why worry, fear, it closes the walls. So we got to think expansiveness. That's the only way to grow is think expansiveness. We're creative beings and we are creative souls. Souls made of creativity, which is God, which is love, also the same. And for that to be in its natural state, it needs to expand. It cannot contract. If it contracts, you're not using the energy the right way, and you have to suffer the consequences, if you will. The only way I could put it. You
Yes.
need to expand it and let it go. Shine forth your light. Shine forth those colors. It's the only way. So if you want to be a healer, use green light. Just send green light to as many people as you possibly can. Expansion.
Right. Wow.
That's what
So
it is.
true. Gosh. Okay.
Okay, now
So
into the throat.
we're on the
Throat chakra.
throat chakra. Blue. Blue is the
Blue.
throat chakra. And it's all about communication, self-expression. If it's a really good color, that person has the ability to speak and to speak up. It also can bring in inner knowledge and wisdom. It brings also peace, James. Whenever I see somebody that has like a light blue aura around, I know that they have peace in that moment, at least in that moment.
Very, very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
And it's the throat chakra, that blue in the throat voice. It's really for clairaudience hearing, believe it or not. It's to do with hearing for your clairaudience. So I used to work a lot with performers, all different types of performers, whether artists or musicians, and I know they were an actor, and I knew they were in the performing arts because they have a huge blue throat chakra. I see blue all
Right.
around, and that
Yeah.
would be very much a creative force. And like I say, peace, empathy, self-expression, communication. And it's very interesting. I do an exercise with my classes, and I have them scan the body of the person and just feel the energy. And there might be some areas where it's more concentrated, some areas where it's more open, some where it's
Mhm.
closed. And several people would have, let's say, closed this blue area here be closed down. And I would say, well, how was your childhood? Were you told not to use your voice? Yes, children are seen, not spoken. So they lost their
Oh,
voice. So the color went inward instead of outward.
so true.
And communication problems and secrets.
Wow. Nancy P has a question. She says, "Hi, Kelly and James. Can you change your aura on command?
Yes.
Project a color or mood, or is it
Yes.
energy driven?"
Well, it's both. Number one, if you change your mind, you can change your color. It's all to do with your thoughts. If you can hold the thought for 3 seconds, it's yours.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
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 And we talk
Yeah.
about meditation, and I'm doing it in a while, but it's very important that we realize, and someone asked this today, does it matter what form of meditation? Not necessarily, but I will say thoughts, of course, do. Thoughts change everything. So if you're in a state of thought, focus concentration really is meditation. So whether you're lighting a candle, whether you're watering the garden, whether you're cooking or cleaning or whatever, our friend Mavis loves to iron, it's concentrated thought, and you can change the auric field. You can change everything that way.
Mhm.
So you can expand and you can send thoughts too, project those thoughts out, which you're going to do tonight. So that's really important that you realize that you're not enslaved by this. It's something to grow by and expand. And each life experience that we have brings more battery to our energy centers. It's really more power to us.
I love that.
No, I don't know where they just can't thank you. I don't know where
Where
that.
did that,
I
James?
don't
That's
know. Thank
brilliant.
them, not me, because they just said that to me.
I love
I
that.
just download that.
Okay.
Isn't it
I'm going
interesting?
to remember that one. That's really
Yeah,
good.
I guess we're known as batteries here, which we are really. Which we are. And really, it's really interesting because she asked that question, and the information also get was well, like dimmer switches on a light. You can turn the light on higher,
Yep.
or you can turn it lower. So
Yeah.
there's some people that I go into a room like, oh, I got to turn my light down because I will, blow people away, or
Right.
and I do, or this has worked before. I'm at a dance party or dancing with people, and all of a sudden, I think my birthday party. You might have been with me when I was doing this, and there were too many people crowded, so I just opened up
Yep.
that dimmer switch, and within seconds, they all leave.
I was it was so much fun.
It
I've
does
seen you
work.
do it.
It does work. You see
I
me do
know
it.
it does. Oh my gosh. Okay, should we look at indigo?
Yes, I love indigo.
I
Love,
do
love, love.
too. So indigo is with the sixth chakra, the third eye, they call this, and it is that inner knowing. And
Yes.
when your indigo is really present, you're very much psychic. Your intuition is highly, highly advanced. Wouldn't you say that with that?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Clairvoyance is from there, and
Hmm.
it is indigo. Indigo children, we've heard of indigo children, of course, who
Hmm.
are now probably in their 30s. Intuition, honesty, mystery, insight, brightness, and clairvoyance, and suppressed that center is suppressed, which is sad because I think, Kelly, that sometimes as kids, maybe you know this from trauma situations, if they see something, they close down that clairvoyance,
Yes.
that second sight. They just close it down. They don't,
Yeah.
or they don't trust what they see. Well, they don't trust what they see. So suppressed, it could be suppressed spirituality, self pity, too much daydreaming. Could get
Yeah.
lost in it.
It can get all of that. It's interesting too that some of it, if it's blocked, it can lead to self doubt, and
It's
that's
true.
as it's self doubting our own intuition.
Not seen clearly.
Gosh, oh my gosh, wow! And then there's violet and purple.
Yes.
So
Yes. What do you
James,
think?
let's talk about that. Well, I've seen it with you. I've seen it. I've seen it with you. I mean, it is a beautiful thing when somebody opens up to spirit and you can see on the crown chakra this violet and purple coming out in waves. It's a phenomenal. It really means to, it brings you a higher consciousness.
Yeah. It's your connection to the divine.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Spirituality, if you will. I've seen it a lot. People, I've seen it very much so. It's a person also that vibrates at a higher frequency, open to philosophy, different types, and really the peacemaker, if you will. Um, Very interesting. But I've seen it again with another experience with people that didn't feel much energy from people's crown chakras. I'd often say to them, "Well, did you have issues with religion growing up or belief system?"
Oh,
Yes,
sure.
belong to a cult or whatever it was, limited belief systems if it's not expressed. And
Yeah.
that's really interesting. And you heard mind control. You've heard of that expression, mind
Yes.
control. Exactly what it is. It's limiting that light, limiting that color, the divine. Very much so.
Wow. Wow. That's just
Be a divine
amazing.
being. That's all we need. Whatever, just please go with the divine being. Being a divine being.
Oh my God. I remember I knew this guru once, and she said, "Well, I'm more important than God because I take you to God." And I thought, wow, I think you've heard it all. I'll be
Uh,
darned.
Similar situation I had. I was told by this lady came to a place when the AIDS was first starting, and supposedly she came to help. And I don't know about that. But I was sitting on the floor. They said, "Has her name was Guru Ma? Has Guru Ma named you yet?" And I said, "I beg your pardon? Has she named you?" She said, "Yeah, my name is James." I knew what she was talking about. But oh, come on, this is ridiculous. Self-important like this. And people were devotees, I gather, and they were on the floor. And they said, "You can sit there." So where is she sitting? She's sitting up there. Why is she up there and we're down here? I don't understand that. They didn't like that. Anyway, she came in and she said, and she was a Brooklyn Jewish lady, and she said, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "I'm a medium." She goes, "I'm a small myself." So, "Oh, yes, I heard that before." And I just got up and left, and people was like, thought I was crazy, but yeah,
No,
that's
everybody has their own connection to source. Everybody.
everybody has their
Never
own,
forget that.
but everybody needs to be celebrated who they are.
Right.
I've never been one to, and I understand religions and cults. Well, I get that many people like to follow instead of taking responsibility and lead. But we're down here to lead. We're down here to lead. Even if
Right.
we've been born to the worst of circumstances, we can use those to help us grow and learn and lead.
Right.
And don't waste the opportunities to lead and to be, help people.
Absolutely. So let's talk about white auras and then black auras.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, a lot of people ask you questions about that, I'm sure.
oh, I get asked a lot, but I've had the experience of both. I've
You've
seen
seen
both.
both. Yes, yeah, I know you've seen both.
I have seen both.
Yes.
Um, I prefer to see white chakras around people, which is really a purity and it transcends the physical realm. And it's actually quite lovely when I see it. It's uplifting, it's non judgmental. What do you think of that?
It's very interesting. When I did, these things are popping in my head. Sorry, I got to share with everybody. Um, when I went to the Peru for summer solstice back in, I forget what year it was. I brought about 30 people there, and that was my last big trip. I think I went, and I remember we wanted to get to the top of Machu Picchu on the day when the sun came up, and there were downtown there were buses everywhere. So I thought, how are we ever going to get this to happen? It's not going to happen. I shouldn't have thought that way. But we had he was a shaman. He was a leader of our group. He was helping us. And he said, I said, can we get our own group up there and do a ceremony? And he said, we'll be able to. And I said, as the sun rises, won't everyone be up there? He goes, we'll make sure no one will be there. Don't worry. I said, there are 5,000 buses around. Anyway, we got up there about 8 o'clock, 7:30. We were the only ones on top of Machu Picchu at summer solstice.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And then we took photographs, and around every person in the auric fields were flowers, purple and yellow flowers, except for this couple, my two friends who came, and I'm gonna cry. Their heart chakras, the green light was huge orbs on both of them, and they were connected from one to the other in love. And it was really, really beautiful to see that. And they're very spiritual people, very lovely people.
Wow. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, but everybody had pictures of flowers and purples and yellows and whites down there on top of Machu Picchu.
Wow. What a spiritual place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost sounds like a rainbow color, which really are where the healers. When you see a rainbow aura around somebody, they're healers.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Wow.
And white is also spiritual purity, honesty, divine love, healing, receptivity, and sensitivity. Yeah. I just redid my kitchen in white.
Oh, it's the best. That's my favorite.
Beautiful.
Oh, I bet. I can't wait to see it. I bet.
Gold.
Oh, my two favorites.
And what do you
Gosh.
see with a black aura?
Well, when I see a black aura, and I've had this experience and I've shared it, and James, you're familiar with this story, but I actually had a client that came to see me who, when I went to the waiting room to reach her, to let her into my office, she was wearing black. Now, most people, when they come to see me, they don't wear black. So I had two decisions in my head, or two thoughts in my head. Either she's just come from a funeral, or she's suicidal.
Wow.
And so when this person came into my office, I said, did you just come back from a funeral, or are you suicidal? And she said, I tried to kill myself last night. And I said, oh my God, because her aura was all black. Everywhere it was just black, 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 black. And she was wearing black, which was really odd. And so we had to have, the subject went right to, taking care of the situation that I found myself in quickly, which is not the first time. But anyway, yeah. But I'll tell you, when I see black auras, it's always somebody who's very negative, very negative. So the reason you want to watch your thoughts, thoughts are things. You want to keep your thoughts pure, your thoughts good, your thoughts vibrant. Because once you start going into that negative thought, it goes right into that aura. And that aura shrinks and gets dark and just dirty. It's like a yucky kind of an aura.
Yeah, it affects everything.
It affects everything. And in fact, you don't have to see the aura to know, oh God, I don't want to be around that person.
Hey, we've all heard about haunted houses. Well, really, what haunted houses are really just bad aura, bad energy around the house.
Right.
You can feel it, you can sense it, and best thing you can do is clear your space, clear your aura, the auric field around your house, by putting in that beautiful white light, golden light, and white around the whole house, and any heavy energies. Let the Mother Earth, Gaia, takes our crud. I'll use a nice word, crud.
Yep.
As imagine all the crud, the dirty energy going down to Mother Earth, so she can use it for fertilizer. That's at work. And people with black emotional blockages, anxiety, grief, ruthlessness, fear, and health problems.
Oh,
That's
fear and health problems. Oh my gosh, so true.
Clothing, so black clothing. Well, that's because you wear black, you don't want to be seen. So black's the color not to be seen in. Really, that's right. And Capricorn was black, which is, by the way, they love that. Green, of course, healing, as we know. Green feels I want to heal others, myself. I'm feeling outgoing. Blue, of course, is creativity, right? So blue, creativity. Yellow is mental power as well. So I'm clarity, mental clarity. Orange, emotional stuff going on there. I feel very emotional, outgoing. There we go. I think I got them all right there.
Oh, wait, I have to tell a funny story too about a brown aura. So Shirley,
brown aura.
let's talk about that, because Shirley, Dr. Shirley, who we just love, and Shirley and I were at some event, and we had our auras taken, our pictures, and mine was like blue and purple and white, whatever.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture. Beautiful, Kelly.
And Shirley's was completely brown. And so Shirley looked at that.
Maybe
She said, this can't be. Did you make a mistake? And the woman goes, no, you're clearly an overthinker. And you struggle a lot with details. I laughed so hard. Even Shirley had to laugh at that one.
So true.
I mean, when you get your aura picture taken, it doesn't miss anything.
I found some information which I think is really wonderful.
Okay.
It's color. So I'm going to read exactly what I found here. And I looked at all about 2 hours today. I was looking through some stuff because I wanted to learn stuff that I didn't know about. So that's
Right.
always what I do. This discusses a especially important language of color, art, and creativity for healing. What is color? Okay, before we discuss the effects of color, let's just get what color is at the core. Color is energy. In fact, energy surrounds you in various forms all the time. The universe is full of electromagnetic radiation, from high energy gamma rays to low energy acoustical waves. So acoustical means hearing. So in mediumship, the waves go just like acoustical. It goes up and you get a really, really high up and you get the information and then it goes down low. And maybe the developed mediums don't know what's going on. They try to feel it. And that's when they start thinking and they ruin the
Oh
communication.
my
Because
God, that's so true.
there's peaks and valleys to communication. As in sound, there's always peaks and valleys, right?
Yeah.
So the universe is full of all these electromagnetic radiation, right? Visible light is simply, okay, I'm going to go slow here. There's a lot of science. I don't think that way. Visible light is simply a portion of the spectrum of radiation that humans have evolved to see. It's actually a frequency between 400 and 700 terahertz. Okay, how do you increase your energy? Let me give you a diagram. Let's see this, hold on.
Okay.
The diagram I found, which is
okay. Oh, well, interesting.
interesting. So if you think a certain way, that'll increase your frequency, which is white will do that. And go from and radio waves. Radio waves fall into radar, TV, FM, and AM. Visible light. Okay. You can't see ultraviolet. You can't see X-rays. You can't see gamma rays. They're kind of right in the middle. Pure white light contains a combination of all the visible colors, and that's very, very true. These colors, people have often asked me about the rainbow, and they say, "What is that white tunnel at the end of life?" Some people mention a white tunnel, and I've always been taught it's a combination of all those colors coming together to form white.
Oh,
Somewhere over the rainbow.
yeah.
White light contains a combination of all visible colors. These colors can be split using prisms or filters, as demonstrated by Sir Isaac Newton in 1665. Since light can act as a wave, remember each color is a different frequency, each color has its own distinct frequency, which makes sense. Red has the lowest frequency wave, and following through the colors of the rainbow, the wave frequencies increase all the way to violet. So if you want to bring up the energy, bring violet. And that's funny.
Yes. Yeah,
And
exactly. And do you know, James, with red, that's the first color a baby will see.
that wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
People see color. This is interesting. People see color when some wavelengths of lights. This is interesting. People see color when some wavelengths of lights are absorbed by objects and others are refracted or reflected back to the eye. For example, an apple is red because it absorbs all other colors except red, allowing only that color to bounce back to the viewer.
Huh.
But does everyone see the same color? Da, da, da. Newton's studies concentrate on the scientific aspects of color, claiming yes. However, Wolfgang von Goethe argued that color and light have subjective and emotional aspects and a theory of color as early as the 1700s, and that debate continues today. And then we talk about color blindness. Like, what is that? Because a friend of mine is colorblind, doesn't see certain parts of the spectrum, doesn't see.
Right. A lot of men tend to be colorblind. Not a lot, but more men than females.
It's very true. Very, very true. It's funny, and I guess I would say I sense color more than anything. I would say I sense the frequency of colors.
Okay.
I will see them at work reading. I sense and sometimes see them. It also depends a lot on the subject that I'm working with.
Yeah.
So if they're very closed-minded or in fear, it's harder for me to see than others. It's very, very true. Just like in readings we do, it's hard for us to read people that are closed down or thinking about this is what they want or trying to control a reading. It's hard to read them. They just
it's just miserable.
It's true. Want to do some questions?
Yeah. Do animals have auras?
Very much so.
Of course.
Pretty clean, pure. That I've seen some very. I've been to rescues a lot, and I see mixed colors with rescue animals. Fear. I've seen anxiety.
Yeah.
I've seen that. This might sound very, very weird, but a good friend of mine was telling me last night that she has a beetle in her apartment, and it's freaking her out. It's a big beetle, and she doesn't know what to do with it. I said, well, you have to let it out. And she said, I'm in an apartment building. So what'd you do? She said, I have a toilet plunger and I put it on top of it. And I said, so what's happening to that beetle right now? She said, well, I don't want to kill it. I said, but it's causing a lot of anxiety and fear for that beetle. It's not going to bite you. You can let it go. So I told her to use a bag, just come a bag to the tip of the plunger and let it go in the bag. And so that's what she's going through.
Well, beetle is her totem then.
Beetles are totem.
I mean, that's really about rebuilding, restructuring your life.
Is that right, Kellee?
Yeah, transformation.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's
I can tell her that there'll be a lot of change going on.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Okay, Trisha Kirby, there are physical, mental, emotional, spiritual auric colors that we are born with and include our talents, our lessons, our purpose, our innate personality. Knowing our life colors gives us the opportunity to live our most fulfilled and happy life. Yes. Yep.
I believe that too, Trisha. But I also want to say to that can be affected as we can, based on our experience, how we accept the experiences that are given to us in life, the opportunities, if you will. Lately, it's really, really interesting. Lately, but I've been downloading this that all these negative things are opportunities. I don't say negative, I say they're opportunities. It's weird, and it's true.
Yeah.
So, but it's how it affects you when you tune into the fear of it or the loving aspect of it. And it's really hard for humans because we think of, we're so restricted in our thinking, and we think there's going to be an outcome, immediate outcome, and that's not the way things work. So it does take our faith to be down here.
And opportunity, when you say that word opportunity, it expands everything, doesn't it?
It does.
Opens everything up,
Opens up who we are.
Oh my gosh. Do babies have auras at birth? Oh, absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. Yes.
And they bring in their soul. We call them soul colors many times.
Oh, I love that.
They're coming with their soul colors. Oh, there's a soul color. There's soul color. Or I'll go by to see the babies. Haven't in a while, but we did this once or twice, and I'd go to see the new babies that were born there, and I'd say, "Oh, look at the different soul colors." Like this tapestry of color there. Wow, what are they going to use more of? Well, the gifts they have or the abilities they have in this lifetime, they'll probably, there's some with a lot of blue. They'll probably be very creative people.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's so sweet. Gosh. So do you think we have a time for a quick meditation?
Sure, if you'd like to, we could do that. That's fine.
For people that to help them with peace right now.
With peace. Yeah, let me just find some music and we'll do that. Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
So wherever you are, just relax and just, I guess we say, just close your eyes. I'm going to turn I'm just going to concentrate on what I'm doing. And it'd be good if we don't have a chat on, because that way that would just take away from the experience. And just let this time be your time to just like generators sending out light. So sending out light, amplifying light is what we're going to do with this. So wherever you are, just close your eyes and become aware of the body. Whether you're sitting down in a chair, become aware of your feet on the floor and your legs, your backs in the chairs, your chest, your stomach, your shoulders, arms, hands, neck, head, or same if you're lying down. Just become aware of that physical body. And as Kellee and I were just mentioning, we're all energy. So in your own way, try to sense what the energy feels like swirling through the body. I often start with the heart pumping blood, and I feel it physically. I feel that, but I also realize that we're energetic beings. So try to feel energy just flowing through the body. And you might be able to feel that even more so by using the breath, because the breath is a wonderful way to become aware of our energy in the body. So slowly become aware of your heart beating and the energy body. And as the breath comes in through the nose, you inhale through the nose, and I'll guide you there. Let that just open up the generator of energy, flowing all around you, in you and around you, in the space, limitless space above your head, below your feet, front of you and behind you, either side of you. And just let yourself go. Let yourself just be that, with the intention that we are using this generated energy with a purpose, an intention. We're going to send healing. We're going to send positive energy out to the situation in the world right now, where there is war in Ukraine, and we're going to send to Russia. But first, let's get this energy, this energetic generator going. So as we breathe in, it opens us up, it amplifies. And you can breathe in any color you like. I would like to say white and gold. And as you breathe that energy within you, let it open you up and energize you. And as you exhale out of your mouth, release, the intention of releasing any negative energy, anything that slows you down, that limits your consciousness, that lets your self-criticism, let all that stuff go with the exhalation. So together, let's bring in this beautiful white golden light. And inhale all the way down to your toes. And exhale out of your mouth. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And again, and inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And now you may be aware, or use your imagination to envision that this breath, this energy that you are, you become aware of the energy outside the body, above the head, as far as you can go. And there's a light, like a candle light, flickering. Your energy is getting higher and higher. The flame of your light is higher and higher into the ethers as far as you can see. And as you go higher and higher with your imagination, you become aware of other people's light, other people's energy, their flames getting higher and higher, reaching higher and higher. And soon you find that all of these flickering lights from all over the world come together with one thought, with one intention. And that is to rain peace, love, understanding, responsibility. And all those colors together from this lovely, lovely green striping green light. And it's as if we see stars of green light, flickers of green light everywhere we see it. And those little droplets of green light are healing lights to bring all of those ingredients of peace, calmness, serenity, harmony, balance, and love. And let's send all the starlight all to Russia, to Putin, to enlighten him, to let his higher self of love realize that what he's doing is not the right thing to do. Let him come from the highest mind, the divine. Rain upon him with this green light of love to help him to see the truth. Help him to know about other beings that we all are all connected. Send that green shower of light now on the president of Ukraine and all the Ukrainian people to help them to bring peace, calmness, balance, and all the Russian people as well, surrounding all of them with this green light of love. We are one. We are united. Let's lift them up and surround the entire region in green light, surrounding it everywhere you can. And now the world. Become aware of the world itself and surround that world, this beautiful earth world, with that beautiful green light, surrounding it, all people around. That we are people. We are people of love. We are people of love. The whole world shines with green light.
We are the people of love. Let us people love today. We are the people of love. Let us people love today. people love today. Reach out to the one you don't know and give him a helping hand. The time has come for our sacrifice to find the way to our love. We are the people of love. Let us people love today. We are the people.
Slowly breathe in through your head. And exhale. And one more time. And inhale. And exhale. Slowly open up your eyes and be as one in love.
Oh, that was beautiful, James.
I felt the heat coming over me right when that song started. The heat, and it's still just pouring down. Heat. I mean, like I'm sitting under a sun here. It's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I felt a lot of love for the world. A lot of love.
Yeah, it starts with us. And everybody share that with everyone you can. Get the world, this world, we have to start with ourselves.
We have to. Yep. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Kellee. Thank you, Kellee.
Thank you. Thanks, Renee. Take care, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
That was great. Maybe we changed some lives.
And maybe opened up some minds.
Which way do I turn?
Right.